My very first message I ever received on social media when I started making content back in 2016 on Facebook, it was I think it was an older lady, but because her name was Agnes, so I just assumed she was born
That's
in
an old bitch.
You know, I just
That's an
assumed
old one right there.
I just assumed her knee hurts.
Agnes.
But basically, she had sent me a message like, "How can I stop getting your videos on my feed?" It was the very first comment I had ever received on social media. If only they didn't never block my original Facebook page, I'd send her a message like, "How I'm doing now, you harlot." But one way or another,
Agnes.
Yeah. So that's always been something that's been on my mind, at least as I've been learning a lot about
Agnes. So she was old.
Oh, she had to be old. Ain't
so
nobody young named Agnes.
It's like how the guy made the video, then he died, and it got 10 million views. It's like you made the video, she died, then you got 10 million views.
Wouldn't that be a trade-off? Like it took. So who's gonna have to be the next Agnes to die for the video to go viral? Let's go find her. Is there a Bertha that's out there?
She's just Bertha.
Find an Agatha that's on the street.
Crazy question. Meet a girl. She tells you her name is Agnes. It's a pass. You didn't even hear the question.
Got to. There's no way there's not cobwebs down there.
He's like, pass.
You gotta pass. You're elderly at that point. I've never for one met a young Agnes. It's like photos of Morgan Freeman when he was young. They don't exist. He was born at 57.
I feel like they would be like, make it hip though. She's like, "Hi, I'm Ness." Ness.
No, at that point, then
you find out a year later, bitch, your name is Agnes?
Right, but then at that point, you're probably like the elderly who try to act like you're still young. Like you'll be the 73-year-old who's like, "Oh, look at my body, I'm still in shape." So you're dressing in like the bodycon dresses where you're trying to be in your 20s. Which, I mean, if you got a great body, then go ahead and float. But there comes a point where it's like, come on now, you're a senior citizen. You're receiving a pension and Social Security. What you doing?
That names have a time frame. So great example, motherfucking Adonis or Hercules.
Right.
That's a cool name. You're not like old person. Hercules is an old ass fucking name.
Hercules is an old name, yeah.
So is fucking Adonis.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to make it work. Yeah, you gotta find a way to make it work. So fair enough. Yeah, in the same vein. Fair enough.
My theory, 1,000 years from now, Agnes is gonna be timeless. I'm like, Agnes.
But usually they say history repeats itself, so it's only a matter of time before those names make a
Agnes becomes a banger.
You'll see people named Bartholomew or something like that, and then that becomes popular or whatever the case may be.
Bartholomew is crazy, bro.
Yeah, rather than just Bart.
Imagine like
Bartholomew.
Your girl having to say Bartholomew. Yo.
Oh God, it's a lot of consonants up in the or vowels. It seems like it's an even trade.
What's the least sexy name? Bartholomew is crazy.
Jeremy. Let's see here. Least sexy names. Let's see here.
Eugene.
Oh, that's hilarious. Eugene.
Yo, imagine being named Eugene. How you look at a baby and be like, Eugene?
I don't know. It depends on, I guess, culturally, location. It varies.
But I think there's sexy names from every culture.
No, there definitely is, and there's terrible names and everything. Now, I'd have to think about that. That's some homework. Comment section, you guys do your work. What names would you guys say are the least sexy names that are out there?
Helga.
Olga, but then it's very common in Russia, so it sounds like it's not very sexy because we're in America.
No,
but then you go overseas and Olga works over there.
There's a general like.
I've seen some good-looking Olgas.
Like a sexy Russian name would be like a fucking Natasha or like Katerina, like all those like Russian ballet dancers, you know? And then you have Olga. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but then there's ways to make it work because it's common out there. It's common out there, so it's not as common here. So in your mind, like, that sounds terrible. Then you see enough good-looking Olgas, you're like, well, Olga's a pretty good-looking name. You know?
Okay, so then what would be a sexy name that's sexy in America but not sexy anywhere else?
Something to think about. Because off the top of my head, now I'm thinking names, but then I just have the most generic names. Samantha. Just popping up at the head, but then it's so generic. What are like names that are just American above all else?
Yeah.
Or they're not anywhere else? Diane?
Princess Diana was from the UK.
Diana?
Diana.
I don't think it's exclusively American. I think there's been more Dianas in different places.
I don't
know.
Barbara.
Barbara. I think Barbara could be.
Can they call her Barb?
Barbs.
Yeah,
Barbie. Becky.
Scarlett's kind of like a stripper name.
Stella.
Stella. I don't know if Stella's that. Stella.
What are the names? Right.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
You know that good.
Fair enough. It just seems like a name where you've got to be annoying if your name is Stella. I've only met one Stella in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I've only met one Stella in my life.
What'd you Stella?
What did I Stella? Yeah, I only met one Stella in my life, and it just seems like it's got to be a head case. It's just one of those names.
Yeah.
Yo, mother Stella. You got to be screaming. There's no way you're having a good time with this Stella.
What if there's just like a couple Stellas watching this?
Hey, listen.
Unsubscribe. Marjorie.
Okay. Marjorie. Lisa. We went Simpsons.
Lisa. Edna is crazy. Edna? Edna's.
I like Lillian.
You like Lillian?
Okay. Interesting. Well, something to think about.
Edna.
Names. Maybe this could be something we could utilize in that. What are the least sexy names? Most sexy names, things of that nature, just by country to country, just to identify that, and everybody will probably comment their name because everybody thinks they're full of themselves.
Sexy.
So with that being the case, hey, we got ourselves a live case study.
I don't know, because even with mine, I'm kind of like, mine is like cool, but I don't think it's like sexy. I'm not like, oh, this is a sexy name, Varies.
It really depends. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends. I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. I guess they would have to utilize that to identify, what works. But
Identify.
You want to identify what works. Identify. You name somebody. Identify. That'd be terrible.
Yo, because there's cool names, bro. Like I remember there was one. It was like what if I just name my kid Legend?
No.
I know a guy who named his kid Legend.
That's what he says. Ghetto.
I know a guy who named his kid Legend. It's hilarious.
Legend.
Yeah, his baby's probably about like maybe 8 months. His kid's name is Legend.
That's fucking cool, bro.
I know kids.
And then there's like Kanye West. He named his baby Psalm.
Psalm.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a biblical.
Biblical P-S-A-L-M.
I think it all depends on how the kid, because you look at somebody like LeBron with the name, it's corny until it's not.
Nah, because now you name your kid LeBron. The only thing people think of is LeBron.
How many LeBrons came before LeBron? It doesn't even matter anymore.
Exactly.
He's the LeBron. It doesn't even matter anymore. So you make it work.
And then forever through history, that's LeBron.
Right, because I promise you, there probably was somebody who was named LeBron before.
Shakespeare.
But you never accomplished anything.
You know his name is Shakespeare? Mm-hmm. Anyone named Shakespeare is like, oh, like Shakespeare.
Right, Beethoven, things of that nature. Bro. You want to have, because if you're the first, not even the first, because there's no way to identify that you're first. But if you're the greatest, it now works. So you could take a least sexy name. I guess this is how we could turn it all the way around. You could take a least sexy name that's terrible, and then if you become like a one of one, you now supersede whatever the fuck the name could have been.
But do you also think that the name also does apply to it somewhat? Like LeBron, you're almost built.
You would assume
to be LeBron.
But go back 40 years, LeBron is like, oh, this kind of could have just been What was the purpose of the league or whatever? Like, I think if Simpsons, we could go with Krabappel, right? Etna Krabappel. Let's just say you call somebody first name is Krabappel. Like, this is terrible. Let's say if you become like the greatest pianist, like you just beat out Beethoven or whatever the case may be, Krabappel now becomes chic.
Valid.
People, you put it up onto like a book or something. Krabappel. Oh my God, I must have this.
I'm thinking of all of them. I mix it. Like Drake. Drake is another one. Drake.
Right.
Drake is a cool name.
It's an all right name.
I like the name Drake.
It's an all right name.
But it's true. If you name your kid Drake.
Now you know exactly who it is. So you have to find ways. Because think about like 50 Cent's rap name. Obviously his real name's Curtis, but 50 Cent. It sounds like, who would want to be half of $1? Oh, this is nothing or whatever. But it's synonymous. It's synonymous now. So with that being the case, it's like, all right, you make the name, it works.
Yeah. So you make the name.
You make the name. So once you make the name, now it's huge, shoes to fill. So I guess for the Olgas that are out there, I don't know who's the biggest Olga
Olga, I believe in you.
Right. I believe
Olga, I think you could become the Olga.
Right.